Oh, good morning, everyone. TGIT. Thank God it is Thursday. We're almost to our 3-day weekend. I'm supposed to have dinner with my sons tonight, but they're calling for flash flood warning, tornado warning, hail. So, unless someone is going to pick me up, take me to the restaurant and back, I'm not going. No, not gonna happen. And I can already hear it when I talk to him.
What do you mean? It's not that big of a deal. It happens all the time here.
No. Vicky said it's storming here again. Tanya Rodriguez, good morning. Bonnie, girlfriend. V. Oakley said, damn, all the things. I know what to do. Avi, good morning to you. Bye, you babe. Woo. Mermaid said, not liking this weather for you. No. Well, by the grace of God, I've just only had to pick up limbs. Haven't had any of the damage anyone else has had. Good morning, Mama She. So I want to know, what do you think about this? Talking about a crime that has been solved, been convicted, they've done their work, the horrible person is behind bars, in the jail. What do you think? Because, not gonna lie, every case hits me in a different way, and some hit me way harder than others. I'm sure many of you heard me when we were going through the case, the trial of Letitia Stout. And I lost it several times. Gannon just hit me really hard. We know Michael Vaughn hits me really hard. Summer Wells hits me really hard. I mean, every case does. The case of Breasia Terrell. Before there was a channel, I had Facebook groups. The only reason there's a channel is because, well, Facebook kept shutting me down because of things I was saying about criminals. Anyway, my first group is the Crime Lines and Lies Facebook group. You know, people would come in there, talk about crime, as we do, right now, except for Elm in here. He's always posting stuff about gross food that makes me want to throw up, but that's up to the mods to deal with him on that one. A second group was about Breasia Terrell. And that's how I became such good friends with Aggie. You all know Aggie. We have yet another case. Like we spoke about Madeline Soto yesterday. And we're all losing our minds. Why has Jen Soto not been charged? Well, taking you back in time to Breasia Terrell, who was served up on a silver platter to an RSO named Henry Dinkins. Yes, she was. She absolutely was. There is Henry Earl Dinkins. SA, murder, kidnapping. He did it all. I mean, all of it. There's little Breasia. She loved, Clifford the big red dog. Two Boss and Mom said, oh boy, here we go. My blood pressure is going to go up on this one. You better believe it, girlfriend. It will. It will. Breasia happened to have a knack at everything. You know those people. Breasia was super talented. She could sing. She could dance. Popular at school. Amazing basketball player. Amazing basketball player. Her mother, that's Aisha with the Breasia shirt on, holding the cup, probably arguing with somebody because they wouldn't give her money. was so jealous of her daughter, she could have cared less what happened to her. She could have cared less. An Amber Alert was issued for Breasia. She was 10 years old, 4'5", weighing 75 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Last seen wearing a white t-shirt, shorts, and pink or white flip-flops. Well, we know where we're going with that, because when you can't even give a description of what a child is wearing, you know there's a problem. Aisha, again, handed her over to Henry Dinkins, again, a registered sex offender who used to date Aisha's mother, Dorothea. Okay? Dorothea made a ton of money off of Breasia. She was selling spaghetti plates. I wouldn't eat that spaghetti. She was selling catfish dinners. I'm not eating her nasty catfish. I can't even tell you what else was going on. They were selling t-shirts, Breasia bracelets, the whole 9 yards. Aisha dropped her off to him. Now, I don't like to bring up another child in this case, and that is the son that Aisha had with Henry Dinkins. Yes, they have a son together. What do you do when your ex is a registered sex offender and he was effing your mama? Then you get with him and you have a child together. I would just keep the kids away from him altogether. Altogether. Before I get to it, let's tell everyone we've almost made it to Friday. Welcome your neighbor. Angie Baby solved it. She said, don't have kids with an RSO. Simple. Snow said, yep, dropped her off and didn't come back until the next day. Yeah. And also, his girlfriend that he was with at the time, safe to say they're broke up, she knew not to have a registered sex offender at her house. And she facilitated what was going on. All right. I'm going to skip around a little bit because there's a lot to go through. But I think this is going to be something we can all agree on. I know several people have been saying, I guess Brooks isn't going to talk about Sebastian anymore. I am. I 100% will. I just don't think Sebastian needs to be talked about every day. I think it's creating more headache for investigators and detectives that need be. I can call out Seth and Tony all day long, but it's going to get us nowhere. So I'm just trying to take a little bit of a break from that. So it doesn't mean I'm stepping away. It just means I think, there's other things, we can be discussing. Hold on one second. Aggie said, this case will make you cuss. Breasia went missing. Well, she was murdered in July of 2020. Fishermen came across her body in March of 2020 by a pond. The fishermen were in the group that I had for Breasia Terrell, which, by the way, that was crazy. They sent me pictures of what they came across. Aggie, do you remember when I sent those pictures to you and I said, oh my God, this can't be real. This looks like, not to be grim, not to be disrespectful, but I said, this looks like a Halloween mannequin or something. Woo! I about lost my mind. And then the fishermen were pissed off because they didn't get the reward from the FBI. Note to self. One, the FBI very rarely pays out rewards. Two, if you tell the internet before the authorities, you have just shit in your own nest. That is not how it works. You're supposed to help them, not hurt them. We've seen it too many times. Aggie goes, I still have them. Couldn't believe that shit. Goodness. I could do a whole show just about that freaking group. All right, so this is from when Henry Dinkins was charged in the death of Breasia Terrell. And there is a lot that went on to little Breasia. I mean, a lot.
Now back to the breaking news in Davenport. Henry Dinkins is now charged with...
Look at that nasty bastard. Look at him. Look at him. Looks like he's got 2 turds on his face. With all the money he was getting from selling drugs, he could have had those moles zapped off. Look at that. He makes Dawn Wells, Chris Proudfeet, and Seth Rogers look like Playgirl models. Chippendale dancers. Look at him. God, he makes me so mad. Nasty ass.
with first-degree murder and kidnapping in the death of Breasia Terrell. The Scott County attorney announced the charges this morning. Terrell disappeared.
Look at how beautiful Breasia is. I hate to say past tense. Look at how beautiful she is. And her fugly mother hands her over to an RSO. Ard, murdered. Matter of fact, he was at a Walmart when they were open 24/7 buying bleach. And her little brother, who is the child of Aisha and Henry Dinkins, witnessed what happened to her.
Last July, after spending the night at Dinkins' apartment with her half-brother. Dinkins is the father of Breasia's half-brother. Last July, after spending the night at Dinkins' apartment with her half-brother. Dinkins is the father of Breasia's half-brother. He was listed as a person of interest in the case last year. Breasia's remains were found near DeWitt in March. And according to television station WHBF, authorities believe Dinkins shot and killed Terrell.
He did. That's been proven, amongst other things. Amongst other things. Now, we know he is a monster, okay? We know he is a monster. We know it. But there's other issues here. Her grandmother, Dinkins' girlfriend, her mother, and her mother's girlfriend. That is right, because Aisha got tired of the pogo stick and switched teams. So she had a girlfriend. And that girlfriend wreaked all kinds of havoc. Let me tell you something. In August of 2020, I had to get a hold of Aggie because I was so pissed off. I was sent a video because Aisha decided to go out and celebrate her birthday. She had on a Breasia t-shirt and she was smoking. She had the drink. She was twerking. And I'm like, is this made up? Is she really doing this? She makes Candace look like a caring mother. Two Boston moms said, I'm sorry, Brooks, I must have missed it. Where was this at? Davenport, Iowa. I apologize. Aggie, do you still have that video of her twerking with her new hair? Because she got a ton of money for that. She got a ton of money and she went and bought that hair. Okay, here's Aisha. Aggie said yes. Okay. You're going to get where I'm coming from. All right?
Yes, my name is Aisha Langford. You can't hear the man. Yeah, it's Aisha Langford. I'm here. Actually, I was invited through my cousin when I came here. They told me they had a surprise. They made a Breasia dress. So it's only right if I actually came out and actually gave that support as much as they're doing for me. Like, as you've seen the guy with the shirt, that definitely touched me when I seen him, you know. So not only know that me and my sister are out here with our Breasia shirts on, as well as someone else bringing her home as well. So I mean, to me,
This is the shirt Aisha would wear everywhere. Queen Mommy. With pictures of Breasia on the belly. Queen Mommy. She went to a vigil, I guess you could call it, where they were selling catfish and spaghetti. She had a crown on and said, I'm Queen Mommy. I'm Queen Mommy. That's what she said. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you freaking imagine? Look at it again.
yes, my name is Aisha Langford. You can't hear the man. Yeah, it's Aisha Langford. I'm here. Actually, I was invited through my cousin when I came here. They told me they had a surprise. They made a Breasia dress. So it's only right if I actually came out and actually gave that support as much as they're doing for me. Like, as you've seen the guy with the shirt, that definitely touched me when I seen him, you know. So not only know that me and my sister are out here with our Breasia shirts on, as well as someone else bringing her home as well.
I about lost my damn mind when I saw her in that shirt. Breasia went missing and was murdered July 10th of 2020. I think I started the group July 13th. From there, I started learning more about Aisha, her mother, her cousin, Henry Dinkins, his girlfriend. She had one cousin that took off to California because she didn't like being asked anything by the police. They were all sleeping with Dinkins, if you really want to know the truth. They didn't care that he messed with little kids. They didn't care. But she would go around with that new hair and that Queen Mommy on. Queen Mommy does not give her beautiful daughter to an RSO. It doesn't happen. And no, I've only done one other show about Breasia because it gets me way, way, way too upset. I have had some conversations with Aisha, and let me tell you, everything falls on deaf ears. Nothing. It's like she's got a box of rocks up there. I think about with Madeline Soto, when Mr. Disney says she needed human contact and I was that person, and we called it snuggle time. Aisha said to me, well, whatever Dink was doing, because that's what they call him, she must have liked it. Whatever Dink was doing, she must have liked it.
Her son, as well as someone else bringing her home as well. So I mean, to me, I mean, a month in, it's rough, but I mean, this year gives me so much peace to know that I got such a good community behind me.
This is not a mother. This is not a mother. Carrie Hull said, "Are you for real? Wow. I would never say it, but Aisha did." All right. This is the body cam. This is going to take a little while to go through. JTB's losing her mind. She said, "Oh, Jesus, I just can't with this." No. Children can't consent. Children don't make rules. Children actually can't set boundaries. They can't. They cannot. They're at the mercy of the people that are raising them. Mermaid says, "Brooks, I love the idea of Throwback Thursday. These vile people should never, ever get to let this down." I agree. Halo, she caught it too. She said, Aisha said she has peace. What the F about Breasia? We talked about it yesterday with Madeline Soto. Not trying to cross cases, but it's really been weighing on my mind. She's not charged. They did not charge Aisha, even though they could have, because they needed her to be a witness. It looks much better to have someone as a witness as opposed to a co-defendant. So a deal with the devil was made so that Aisha was not charged. We've seen it too many times, my friends. We saw it in the case of Gannon. When Harley was not charged, she had to take a proffer agreement, even though she was well aware of what had happened to her stepbrother, and she refused to tell the police. We have gone through the case of Harmony Montgomery. Kayla Montgomery took a deal to tell them what Adam did. If she didn't, they would have charged her. To me, the deals are bullshit. But I'm not the one that has to present a case to 12 people that may or may not have listened during 8th grade civics. Watch this body cam. This is when shit gets real.
Your mom? Okay. How do you spell it?
AISHIA.
Last name?
Langford, LANKFORD.
Date of birth?
8/28 of 1991.
All right, you can see how she's pacing around. She knows that Dinkins has done something really bad to Breasia. It's no more just in the apartment doing what, according to her, Breasia liked. Okay? She's already suspicious. I don't see any charges ever coming for her. She'll get them for something else down the road. Mark my words. 2 Boston moms. Is this the mom or girlfriend? This is Aisha Langford. That's her. That's Aisha. That is Breasia's mama. People ask about Breasia's father. I'm still up in the air to who her father really is. Because on the birth certificate, it shows Losky, who is a rapper in Atlanta, is her daddy. Now, he also showed up in Davenport, got a bag of cash, went back down to Hotlanta, and took all his other kids out go-karting. They had a great time. He was living in motels, got a new TV, he got gold teeth. He had a lot of stuff going on. I did a Q&A with him one time in the Facebook group, and a lot of people didn't like it, but I wanted to hear his side of the story. So yes, on the screen, this body cam right here, this is Breasia's mother, Aisha.
Address?
614 West 63rd Street, apartment number 1,
Phone number?
563
Yep.
676 4247.
Okay. And Henry lives here.
Yeah, I guess so. This is where he told me to come.
Okay.
Liar, liar, are your pants on fire? He said, is this where Henry lives? I guess so. That's where he told me to come. You dropped her off. You dropped her off. You're the one that took her to him. I guess so. That's where he told me to come. You know exactly who he is. You have a child with him. And your mama was blowing him for crack. You know exactly who he is.
He don't even know how long she's even been gone.
Yeah. What's your daughter's name?
Breasia, BREA
EA.
SIA.
BREASIA.
Yes.
Okay.
Terrell, TERRELL.
Okay. What's her middle initial?
D.
Her date of birth?
12/4/09.
Okay. What's up, Henry? So when was the last time you saw her?
She was in the house.
Here comes Dinkins. She was in the house. Nope. She was found hard and murdered by a pond in March of 2021. She wasn't in the house, Henry. She was at one time. I think it's the final time she told you no. She's growing. Her body's changing. She could have been menstruating. I don't know. But I think it was the final time she told him, no, this isn't going to happen anymore. I don't want to be here. Forget it. I'm going to call my mom. I'm going to call my grandma, which those two wouldn't care. They'd be like, just go ahead. Mermaid said, where was the son? He witnessed everything. We're going to get to that in a minute. He knows. He knows. And I see the mod squad is saying, please abide by YouTube guidelines and disguise keywords. Chloe said it. Just me said it. Look, girls, I'm trying. I'm just getting really PO'd up here. I'm trying. Okay. Here comes Fat Bastard walking out. Watch him.
Her date of birth?
12/4/09.
Okay. What's up, Henry? So when was the last time you saw her?
She was in the house.
Yeah, when was the last time you saw her?
9:30.
Last night?
9:30.
Okay. Okay.
With him.
Okay. When was the last time you saw her?
She was in the bed when I woke up this morning.
So he gets his son to lie. She was in the bed. Of course, the little boy is going to do whatever his daddy says because he doesn't want the same thing to happen to him. I want to hug that little boy so bad I can't stand it. She was in the bed. So, of course, there's an Amber Alert in Iowa because they're under the impression that she has been kidnapped. This poor little baby is scared. Not half as scared as Breasia. This pisses me off to no end.
Okay. Okay.
With him.
Okay. When was the last time you saw her?
She was in the bed when I woke up this morning.
She was in the bed
Yes.
when you went to bed last night? Okay.
This is crazy, man.
Watch him look away and put his head down. He goes, okay, she was in the bed when you went to bed. He just shakes his head and he puts his head down because he knows he's not telling the truth. And I don't like when people beat up on the little brother. I don't like it at all. Aggie, if you want to grab the link, go ahead and you can come up because you're a walking encyclopedia on this case. This poor little boy. Carrie Hall said, so sorry, mods, for not changing the words. My apologies. Girlfriend, we're in the same boat. They're correcting me. You're all good. You're all good. He's a child. He is not responsible, but he was told to lie.
Now, this is like, you know what I'm saying? I know she fucking going fucking hysterical, big brother.
Yeah. DIN.
KINS.
Your date of birth, Henry?
August 2nd, 72.
Is this your home address?
No.
What's your address?
It's down by Ralston Carina.
I just.
Yeah, I just know that.
You don't know your
I don't know the
address?
full address.
Do you know your phone number?
Hell no.
Dinkins doesn't know his phone number. He doesn't know his phone number. He's saying Aisha's going effing hysterical. You can see his son is scared. Yeah, do the math between Dinkins and Aisha. That's the reason he was with the grandma and Aisha. He was living in a storage unit, my friends, by the marina. He is a registered sex offender. He is supposed to tell them where he's at and if he's around children.
Is this your home address?
No.
What's your address?
It's down by Ralston Carina.
I just.
Yeah, I just know that.
You don't know your
I don't know the
address?
full address.
Do you know your phone number?
Hell no. I don't even know that either. I swear to God, I don't.
Henry, you don't know where your daughter is. You don't know your address. And you don't know your phone number.
No, for real. I'm finna
So,
give it to you now.
I love this officer. Okay, Henry, you don't know your address, you don't know your phone number, or where your daughter's at. I'm sorry. There's nothing to laugh about, but this cracked me up. Okay, Henry, come on. You don't know your address, your phone number, or where your daughter's at. Dumb ass.
You think I'll be lying, but
Well, no, it's just it's kind of.
because I don't call myself.
I know, but you got to know your number. You got to know your address.
I don't.
So this is your girlfriend's address here?
Just a friend.
Okay.
Okay, here go my phone number right here.
Okay. What was she last wearing?
In the bed.
What you have on, some shorts?
What color?
She had on some shorts. What color? Breasia was 10 years old. And you can hear the little brother in the background. He's answering, and he's not being asked anything. He just kept saying, she was in the bed. She was in the bed. because he's been told to say that. And it took amazing forensic child psychologists to talk to him to find out what really happened. Listen to him again.
Okay, what was she last wearing?
In the bed.
In the bed. What was she last wearing? In the bed.
What she had on, some shorts.
What color?
I don't remember. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't
What's her height and weight, you think?
She's a little taller than he is.
She's just
Okay.
She's a little taller than that. She's probably not like this.
Okay. What's her hair look like?
she has dreads. Long.
Dreads.
Long.
Long and dreads hair?
Yep.
Like shoulder length or
Down.
middle of the back?
Down here.
Okay. Mid back, dreads. Right? Is that how we would
Yes.
label that?
Yes.
She had shorts on.
Did she still have a white shirt on?
She had she had the shirt that you gave her.
The white shirt.
All white?
It's
All white t-shirt. Yep.
And you guys don't have alarms or anything on your doors if the door's open? Okay.
You should get one. You should get one.
It's too late.
And-
I'm talking about getting one.
Listen, I know this sounds dumb. I've lost my kids too.
Right.
Okay. Actually, mine just happened last week. And we went back in and we found them in the bedroom.
No, we just searched.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to, who have you called? What doors have you knocked on?
Now, this is when it gets sticky in any case. We've seen it in too many of them. I'm going to go back to the case of Little Gannon. When they're asking Letitia, where did you search? Well, through investigation, interviewing, facts, also known as evidence, they realized she didn't search anywhere. Well, neither this piece of shit. And what do I see here, Shonda? Girl, it's raining. Who's got their umbrella? Thank you so much, Shonda. Me love you. Because we know throwback shows where we talk about cases that are solved, some people don't want to talk about it. They want to talk about something else. I think it's all important. And there's no way his girlfriend is going to have security cameras because he was there to bring her drugs. And he's an RSO. You see, you don't have tight security around your home when you're the one doing the shady shit. Unless you're a tweaker, then you got cameras all over the place. I can't make sense of it.
Research.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to, who have you called? What doors have you knocked on?
I don't know these people out here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I called her.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now hold on. Dinkins goes, I don't know these people around here, so I'm not going to knock on their doors. You're looking for Breasia. You're looking for Breasia. Here is Breasia. Who wouldn't knock on a door?
I don't know these people around here.
Hell, you make Don Wells look like a great father.
I don't know these people around here.
Why on earth would you not knock on the doors? We know the truth. It's because he R'd her, essayed her, had been molesting her, and murdered her. But he's talking to a police officer.
I don't know these people around here. I don't know my phone number. I don't know my address.
Oh, okay. You don't know your address, your phone number, or where your daughter is. All right. and you didn't knock on one door. Funny thing about guilty people, they don't search for what they know the truth of. I know my keys are in my purse. Now, if I got into my purse and my keys weren't in there, I would be in a panic looking for them. But there's no need. We've seen too many cases where people do not search because they already know. Dinkins already knew.
And she told me she was at work. At first, I was riding around looking. And then me and my son started riding around looking.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then
So how long ago did you? Has it been an hour?
it's been a couple hours.
Couple hours?
Couple hours.
Okay.
Couple hours.
Have we called grandmas? Have we called cousins?
That's what I just asked. She the one. I don't know all that. She knows all that.
She called my grandma already.
She
Okay.
knows all that, not me.
Okay. Do we have a picture?
She does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mom.
Yeah. She got the picture, bro.
Who's the girl that lives here? Andrea? What's Andrea's last name? Culberson.
He need a picture of her.
You don't have nothing with you right now. Okay, that's fine.
Aisha has no pictures of her daughter. I ain't got nothing. Oh, you don't have nothing? And Andrea should have caught a charge too. She should have caught a charge too. She knows not to have an RSO at her apartment. If she wants to hang out with him, that's one thing. But don't allow kids to be there while you're at it.
Fine. Have we called family?
I've called everybody. I have my
Okay.
uncle out riding around. My mom's
Man,
on her way out here. My
We've been
friend's on their
everywhere.
way out
We've
here.
been every
Okay.
fucking way.
And she's gonna be with a friend inside some apartment.
That's
most
why I
likely.
just said I'm gonna still look.
Okay.
We don't know anybody out here though. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
She would have never.
How many?
She would have never. First of all, she would have never woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning. And she would have never.
What you mean?
She
8 o'clock in the
I'm
morning.
just saying.
That ain't what I
She
said. I
definitely.
never
I know
said.
you
Guys,
didn't say that.
this isn't the time to fight.
Exactly. I don't give a fuck about you walking,
Hey,
nigga.
listen,
You
man.
lost her though.
How did I fucking lose?
Because you was watching her, Henry. What the fuck do you mean?
But hey,
I'm gone, sir. Come on, D.
listen to me.
Fuck that. I'm gone.
Well, you guys gotta come together right now. This isn't a time to fight about it. Okay. So, well, hey, if you, well, how am I supposed to? What do you want me to do?
I got everything.
Okay, who in the world, for one, doesn't have a picture of their own child? And then you walk away from the officer that's trying to help you find her. Who would do that? He's like, what do you want me to do? I agree with Mermaid. This officer needs a raise. Look at this again. We already know that Dinkins is in jail. He will never see the light of day. Okay? Dinkins, gone. Up the river. Done. Aisha still has some karma to catch. And I think Andrea too. I'll go as far as to say the grandma too. Spaghetti seller. Spaghetti catfish seller.
Culberson.
He need a picture of her.
I ain't got nothing.
You don't have nothing with you right now. Okay, that's fine. Have we called family?
I've called everybody. I have my
Okay.
uncle out riding around. My mom's
Man,
on her way out here. My
We've been
friend's on their way
everywhere.
out
We've
here.
been every
Okay.
fucking way.
And she's gonna be with a friend inside some apartment.
That's
most
why I
likely.
just said I'm gonna still look.
Okay.
We don't know anybody out here though. That's the
Yeah.
thing. She would have never.
How many?
She would have never. First of all, she would have never woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and she would have never.
What you mean?
She
8 o'clock in the
I'm
morning.
just saying.
That ain't what I
She
said. I
definitely.
never
I
said.
know you
Guys,
didn't say that.
this isn't the time to fight.
Exactly. I don't give a fuck about you walking,
Hey,
nigga.
listen,
You
man.
lost her though.
How did I fucking lose?
Because you was watching her, Henry. What the fuck do you mean?
But hey,
I'm gone, sir. Come on, D.
listen to me.
Fuck that. I'm gone.
Well, you guys gotta come together right now. This isn't a time to fight about it. Okay. So, well, hey, if you, well, how am I supposed to? What do you want me to do?
I got everything, bro. I got nothing. You see how she stepped on me. You know
I mean,
I
I got no picture. I got no. What do you want me to do?
What am I supposed to do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I
All
get
thing
it,
I can do is
Henry.
look.
I get it. I
All
get
I
it.
can do is look.
I get it, Henry. Henry, let's go inside the apartment one more time. Look, this happens more often than you think. I mean, well, I understand why she's upset.
I
But
understand, too.
when I'm
I'm
trying to
upset.
help, she
But you
can't run
get
away from
upset.
me.
You can't
I
get
don't.
upset and deal with the issue.
Yes.
You got to keep a level head.
Yeah.
You know that. I learned that a long time ago. Fuck, man.
104 and 105.
How many times have you guys stayed out here?
How many times have I been out here? The kid, this is their first time.
Oh, it's the very first time she's ever stayed here.
104 and 105. Start 4.
And so
She's been over here, but they never stayed.
she has never stayed here.
Take the daughter out.
Like I said,
So I wonder just.
The daughter saying she was assaulted by the mom, and that the mom is not allowing her to get her things.
I mean,
this is such a small.
we got.
She's not in our look. I'm fucking happy. She gonna open the door, man. She's gonna.
What's her name?
She's gonna open.
Hi there. Are you Andrea? Yeah. Okay, Andrea. What's your date of birth, Andrea? So tell me about, like, when was the last time you saw her?
She was here.
When?
What time was I? Folks sleep like around 11 midnight. She was here. She was in bed sleep.
Okay. And you guys never heard her come down?
Andrea is lying too. Andrea knows, yes, she saw Breasia. Yes, she saw Breasia. But she also knows that Dinkins left with her and her brother. He was taking her somewhere else so he could do something horrible to her. Andrea knows they left. But his girlfriend, Andrea, here, is lying to the officer. You got Aisha, who doesn't have a picture.
Let's get out of here, D.
Dinkins doesn't know where Breasia is. Truth is, he does. Doesn't know his phone number. Doesn't know his address. And here's girlfriend Andrea lying. She knows they weren't there all night. She knows it. It's been proven in a court of law.
Walk out. There's no forced entry or anything like that. Okay. Do you mind if I just come in and take a quick look? I'm not concerned about anything else. I just want to come in because probably 50% of the time we still find them inside the place when this happens. And
Well, I kind of do my face kind of a wreck right now.
what's that?
My face has kind of been a wreck. But
Listen. I go in all sorts of places. I don't care how big.
is he aware of this?
What's that?
Is he aware of this?
Yeah.
Why is she asking if Dinkins is aware of it? my place is a wreck right now. We expect nothing less. Okay? That's a funny thing about druggies and criminals. They don't keep a tidy home. I'd be shocked if they went into one that was all picked up, mopped, swept, laundry done, laundry put up. This, I tell you, these people.
What's her name again? Was there any fights or arguments or anything last night? Bree is her name? Where was she sleeping at? Your bed? So where were you guys sleeping at last night? You guys slept out here? Oh. You look in the closet again? Your bed? So where were you guys sleeping at last night? You guys slept out here?
All right. Obviously, the officer is already onto it. He already had to walk up the stairs and he sees a bed that hasn't been slept in. Now, of course, this is July 10th, 2020. Breasia has been murdered. Henry Dinkins is in jail. He will never see the light of day. But these women that surround Dinkins lie and lie and lie to cover for him. This is beyond disgusting.
Oh. You look in the closet again? Huh?
That's all clothes.
I know, I'm just telling you, you'd be surprised what we've...
I know, right?
So she was sleeping in the bed with her brother? And you guys slept out here? Okay. What time did you guys wake up?
Now, I was still asleep. I don't know what time everybody else got up.
Well, what time did you wake up?
Oh, goodness, honestly, I cannot remember what time I was.
Okay, like 30 minutes ago, 2 hours ago? 2 hours ago? Okay.
She said she's gone, so she's gone, so.
Hey, does she have any friends out here? Like, has she ever played with any of the neighbors?
Man, he's slapping that thing. He's pissed. He already knows. He's walking up the stairs. She's sleeping in the bed by her brother. They're outside. He can clearly see they were partying in there. He sees the liquor bottles. He can see it all. Well, she's gone, so he already knows something's wrong. He just knows he's going to have to assign this to a detective and they're going to have to solve it. Which they did. Andrea lied. Dinkins lied. It was not Breasia's first time there. No way. Who's going to let their new boyfriend come over And instead of spending time with him, he's bringing kids over. Don't work that way. Well, I guess to some people it does. Yeah, this cop is about to have it.
Hey, does she have any friends out here? Like, has she ever played with any of the neighbors? Okay, are you going to come out and help look or not?
Mm-hmm. 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 Are you going to come out and help look? She's gone. So she knew. Are you going to come out and help look or not? I mean, this is your property. You live here. She had no time for that. No way. Now, we do know Breasia was murdered. The early morning hours of July 10th, 2020. Her body was found in March of 2021. We know that there was a lot of fundraising going on. A lot. Her dad even wrote a song for her in Atlanta, and it was a big hit for him, supposedly. Losky. Aisha, she got new hair. She had tons of clothes that said Queen Mommy. Dorothea was making money from selling spaghetti, bracelets, earrings, catfish. I wasn't eating nothing from Dorothea's house. No. No way. And the sad fact of the matter is the little brother is still with Aisha. Aisha and her girlfriend.
Posters nationwide. The last people to see her alive on July 10th, 2020 were inside this apartment complex that Breasia had only visited one time. Breasia and her 8-year-old little brother were spending the night with her brother's biological father, Henry Dinkins, and Dinkins' girlfriend. The next morning after the sleepover, Dinkins called Breasia's mother and told her her daughter was nowhere to be found.
Friends and total strangers are helping the family of Breasia Terrell search for the missing 10-year-old.
The search for Breasia grabbed headlines. Local station WQAD8 called her a, quote, budding TikTok entertainer after the child's mother shared with them these videos.
Okay, Mom. Is it pretty now?
Dinkins was placed behind bars on unrelated probation charges. He provided no further details about Breasia's possible whereabouts, even when confronted by the child's mother.
Supposedly, he woke up and Bree was nowhere to be found.
She has been supportive and cooperative with our investigators this entire time. We cannot imagine the grief and pain she must experience.
Then in March of 2021, a tragic...
Yeah, I know she was being cooperative, but sometimes the best time to do cooperation is before your child gets AR'd, essayed, molested, whatever you call it, and murdered. And I know there was many phone calls to the DA's office asking, are you going to charge Aisha with anything? Are you going to charge Andrea with anything? But they needed cooperating witness statements to put Dinkins behind bars for years. I don't like it, but that's what happened. And you look at Breasia. There is a TikTok video. Because Breasia loved doing those. Loved making those TikTok videos. Very talented. And there's one where Aisha gets in the middle of it. She goes, "Oh, you little," she called her the N-word. She's like, "You think you're special? You think you're cute? You think you're some Tyra Banks? You just an N like me." And I was like, what? She played basketball. Amazing dancer. Gorgeous voice when she would sing. Yeah. Horrible.
Discovery by fishing buddies at a pond in a wooded area leads to a break in the case.
We have received confirmation that the remains are those of Breasia Terrell.
The location, a 30-minute drive away from where Breasia had been sleeping, a location investigators believe Henry Dinkins drove to overnight with her body. He's charged with kidnapping and first-degree murder.
With premeditation, malice aforethought, and intent to kill BT, shot her with a firearm, causing her death.
Now, Dinkins' murder trial is going forward, not in front of a jury, but a judge only, after Dinkins, who pleaded not guilty, also waived his right to a jury of his peers.
Oh, he did. He had the judge decided. Yes, Aisha was extremely jealous of Breasia. Now, I will say this about the chief in Davenport. This case hit him so hard. Every time he talked about Breasia, he was choking back tears. He was caught on a hot mic saying, Breasia never had a chance. This man has seen a lot. This man has seen a lot. And for him to break down the way he did just shows you the human factor of our law enforcement. Don't let the media trick you. There are a lot of amazing law enforcement officers.
Let's take you into court earlier today as Aisha Langford was called to the stand. This is Breasia's mother.
Call on July 10th from Mr. Dinkins at 8:08 a.m. If you could, I'd like to reference you back to State's Exhibit 96-1. Do you have that before you?
No, I don't. I just have the schedule. Yeah, just a second.
Now, on page 4 of State's Exhibit 96-1, toward the bottom, do you see that first call that would have come in from Mr. Dinkins on July 10th at 8:08 a.m. in the morning?
Yes.
What was the duration of that call?
0 seconds.
All right. From that point moving forward then, is there a number of telephone calls that appear on page 4 and going into page 5 of your call record?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Your Honor, may we publish this?
You may.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
How many calls after the unanswered call at 8:08 do we see on this particular page?
On this particular page, I see 3 after that 808 call.
Okay. All right. Who is the calling number in that left column?
That's actually my number.
All right. And then what number are you calling?
I'm calling Dinkins' number, the 726-4078.
Does this document show that those are all outbound calls from your number to Mr. Dinkins' number?
Yes, ma'am.
And then do all of those outbound calls on this page after that 8:08 time frame all occur on July 10th?
Yes, ma'am.
If you could then articulate for our record the 3 successive outbound calls that you made and the duration associated with that. So just give us times and then the time that the call lasted.
All right, so I have 8:09 a.m., 34 seconds. I have 8:10 at 34 seconds and 8:10 again at just 24 seconds.
In those 3 outbound calls that you made, do you know if you were able to connect with Henry Dinkins, or are you just simply calling over and over and over trying to make the connect?
I was trying to make a connect.
All right, let's go to our next page. How many highlighted calls then appear on our next page, which I'm going to identify as page 5 of State's Exhibit 96-1, and that would simply be the highlighted calls. How many are we seeing here?
We're seeing 6.
Okay. Now let's go back and let's repeat that process if we could.
The process of times.
Yes. For those 6 calls, who's the calling number in the very first entry?
That's my call. I was calling out to Henry.
What's the time then that you placed that call to Mr. Dinkins?
It was at 8:11 a.m.
The duration of that call?
0 seconds.
Did he answer?
No, he didn't.
The next entry, what's the calling number?
The calling number is the 563-726-4078.
Mr. Dinkins' number?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And then what time is that call coming into your phone?
It looks about like 8:11.
All right. If you were to give us the seconds, your call at 8:11 would be what? 8:11 and what? How many seconds?
120 seconds, that second call.
Oh, yeah, no, let me make this clear, just so that we understand the time elapsed. Got it? Okay. All right. So for your call, give us the seconds on that call. What time did you make it?
I made it at 8:13 a.m. that morning. 8:13, 39 seconds or something like that.
Is that 8:11-13 seconds?
I'm not exactly sure what you're looking at.
The very first entry.
Oh, the very first.
This girl went missing. He didn't call her.
And then what I want to focus on is the communications then that occurred between yourself and Mr. Dinkins on July 10th. And what is going on in text messages. All right, so on page 2, starting
with July 10th at 8:08.
Right.
That was the call me.
Who made that or who sent that text?
Mr. Dinkins.
Okay. From there then,
And from there,
do we go to our first page?
I tried to call him several times and he didn't answer. So then I sent a text message and I just said, just call me. I'm not about to play telephone.
What time is that text?
It looks like 8:11 a.m.
Okay. And then your next communication with Mr. Dinkins.
It was at 11:07 a.m.
Who's sending the text?
That was me.
What are you saying?
I'm asking him, where is he?
All right. And then your next communication with Mr. Dinkins.
It was again at 12:03 p.m.
Who's sending that text?
Mr. Dinkins stating that he was downtown.
All right. And then does that include all of the text messages that you had with Mr. Dinkins?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to redirect your attention to States Exhibit 95-1 and 95-2. For purposes of the record, what is this exhibit?
A work schedule from work.
Okay. Does this set forth your work schedule for July 9th and July 10th?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Now on States Exhibit 95-1, does it indicate what had been your scheduled shift before changes were made?
Yes, ma'am.
And then going into 95.2, does it actually show the hours that you would have worked on July 9th and July 10th?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would move to introduce States Exhibit 95-1 and 95-2.
No objection. Those exhibits will be admitted.
Okay. On States Exhibit 95-1, in that left-hand column, what kind of information is contained in that left-hand column?
That's the names of the employees.
Does your name appear in that list of employees for a work schedule?
Yes, it does.
What is the date range for this particular work schedule?
It's from July 7th, 2020 to July 13th, 2020 for the week.
Is there a column set forth for your scheduled shift, your original scheduled shift for Thursday, July 9th of 2020?
Yes, there is.
What were you to work on July 9th of 2020?
I was to work 10:30 a.m. until 5 p.m.
And then is there a column for what was your original work schedule for July 10th?
It was for 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
All right, going to States Exhibit 95-2 then, for July 9th of 2020, does it set forth the times that you would have clocked in and clocked out?
Yes.
Okay, what time did you initially clock in on July 9th?
I clocked in originally at 10:39 a.m.
What time did you clock out?
I clocked out at 12:59 p.m.
Did you have a lunch break at that point in time?
Yes, I did.
And then what time did you clock in after your lunch break?
I clocked back in at 1:33 p.m.
And then what time did you clock out on July?
Okay, so all of this riffraff is because the defense is trying to say that Aisha is somehow could be responsible for Breasia's murder. Well, she was working at Checkers. Okay? She continued working at Checkers. She was caught on a cell phone video. Of course, everyone keeps a cell phone. When she was recognized, because she'd been all over the news talking about her daughter, which she should do. And someone said, "Hey, you're Aisha." She said, "What business is that of yours?" And the woman said, "Well, we've been helping, trying to find Breasia." She said, when you find that little N word, you tell her she's got a lot of explaining to do. They got their pops, they got their burgers, and they went down the road. Damn, Aisha. Damn you.
July 9th of 2020.
I clocked out at 5:07.
Okay. And then so from that, did your trip over to the apartment complex occur within, an hour or so later?
Yes.
Okay. Now on July 10th, what does it show as a time that you actually clocked in at?
It says that I clocked in at 8:04 a.m.
What time did you clock out?
I clocked out at 8:16 a.m.
I want to pick up at the point in time where you described sitting in the back room and you were crying.
Yes.
There at Checkers. What did your manager encourage you to do?
He encouraged me to get into the car and go downtown and figure out what was going on.
By going downtown, what do you mean?
Like going down to the police department.
Did you actually leave Checkers to travel down to the Davenport Police Department?
I did.
All right. When you left Checkers.
Okay, this is a big problem. So she's at work. Her manager says, clock out. You need to go down to the police department and find out what's going on. Who would need to be told that? Your child is missing. Your child is missing. You took your child to a registered sex offender, and you have to be told by your manager at Checkers to go find your daughter, to go find out what's going on?
What direction did you head to go downtown to the Davenport Police Department?
I was heading west, so I was heading away from, I think it was west, right?
On what street?
On Locust.
As you were traveling west on Locust, did you notice something of interest to you?
Yes, I did.
Describe.
I noticed Mr. Dinkins' Impala flying down the opposite way, making a really hard turn on, I think it's a left turn on Eastern.
Okay. What type of vehicle was he driving?
He was driving in a maroon Impala with tinted windows.
Okay. And then did you pass him when you saw him heading east?
Yes, and
what did you do?
I made a U-turn.
And then at that point in time, describe what you did.
I was speeding behind him, honking the horn. I was calling his phone. And when I finally got him on the phone, he said that he was headed to Jersey Meadows because they wanted to talk to him out there. And I was still on his bumper, honking the horn, and we had pulled over by the McDonald's on Northwest, or it's like Kimberly, East Kimberly, across the street from Walgreens by the Old Kaplan.
All right. How would you describe the rate of speed that Mr. Dinkins was traveling?
Well, I was probably going about 65, 70 possibly, because he was driving really fast.
All right. Going back to State's Exhibit 38. Don't say anything just yet. I want you to come down to this exhibit. And then I want you to look at the exhibit in terms of the map of the downtown area. Does it set forth an entry for your employment there at Checkers? And then do you see an entry for the McDonald's where you would have met with Mr. Dinkins? Okay, don't say anything. What I'm going to do is I'll take you back to the stand, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you use a blue magic marker to circle the location of Checkers. Do that, don't say anything. I'll put you back on the stand so that we can get that testimony through the microphone, and I want you to take this red magic marker and I want you to circle the location of the McDonald's that you're referencing. Go ahead and take yours on the stand. My question to you is this. Do you see on State's Exhibit 38 the area of Davenport where Checkers is located?
Yes.
Does that reflect Locust Street and the area that you would have traveled when you were heading to the Davenport Police Department?
Yes.
Do you also see an entry for the McDonald's on East Kimberly Road?
Yes.
And does that map reflect?
But we just didn't care. Vice on Court TV tonight at 7.
What kind of situations does he exaggerate?
When he steals something or when he's just telling little movie tale stories. Not about his sister, though.
Okay.
He wouldn't lie about that.
Well, we know why he doesn't lie about his sister, because like Don Wells, he had been messing with his sister. Okay, I have to say it a certain way for many, many years. You see, this man is a deviant. This man is as sick as they come. And what he did to little Breasia is disgusting. And I know many people get upset and they say, listen, Aisha is a victim of his too. You can be a victim. Absolutely. You can be a victim. You don't have to stay a victim. I would never want to go through anything that the people that we discuss on this channel have gone through. I would never want to go through it. But you don't have to remain a victim. You just don't. And I have argued about this, well, going on 4 years. You don't even know what Aisha went through by him. She served him up to him. She already knew what he was about. She already knew. She knew what he did to her. She knew. Her mother invited him into the house. The victims in this case are Breasia and her little brother. Well, and many other people, but listen to that again.
Depends on the situation.
What kind of situations does he exaggerate?
When he steals something or when he's just telling little movie tale stories. Not about his sister, though.
Okay.
He wouldn't lie about that.
So we spent a lot of time talking about your phone records.
Yes.
Okay. I think I'm going to approach the Elmo here. I'm showing you now.
Okay.
You see it there?
Yes, I see it.
This is State's Exhibit 7-6.
All right, let's quickly bring in our guests joining us this hour. Again, attorneys Jack Rice and Josh Schiffer. And Josh, I'll start with you. I don't know what to make of Aisha Langford. It's been a couple of years. She seems to have dealt with the loss of her daughter, but not sure exactly where the state is going. What do you make of the question?
Oh, I know what to make of her. I know. She had her daughter cremated. Lisa Durr said, if you're a victim, then why make your children victims too? There you go. Wouldn't that just be human nature? You protect your own. Hey, yeah, I've had a shit life. Dad hated me. Mom hated me. I was picked on in school. Why deal it to your children? The things that she has said about Breasia make me want to throw up. You're exactly right, Lisa Durr. You're exactly right. Katie did goes, Brooks, you and I were talking about that this week. That's exactly right. I think I'm going to start a new show. It's called Coffee with Katie. We'll do it on the other channel. All we do is we're solving the world's problems on the phone. Makes me sick. What he did to Breasia is beyond disturbing, and I will not go through her autopsy. Easy to find. The forensic anthropologist who had to go through her bones will not. It is horrible. And every bit of it was preventable. 100% preventable. I'm going to discuss her little brother for a minute. He took the stand. Again, an amazing forensic child psychologist spoke with her brother. And that is so hard to do. Because with children, from what I understand, you kind of get just one shot. If not, it's called the power of suggestion. You can convince a child of anything if you really work on them. I don't know why people do it. However, he told the truth.
Today marks day 2 of the delayed trial of Henry Dinkins, the man accused of killing 10-year-old Breasia Terrell. The bench trial is underway at Scott County after Dinkins and his defense team waived his right to a jury trial earlier this week. Today, state prosecutors continue to question witnesses' timelines leading up to the murder. News 8's Nina Burns joins us live outside the Scott County Courthouse with more. Hello, Nina.
Hi, Linda. State prosecutors utilized day 2 of this trial to highlight 2 major aspects, and those aspects include a singular cell phone pinpoint and also Henry Dinkins' Chevy Impala. That is the alleged vehicle used to transport Breasia. On July 10th, 2020, the day Breasia Terrell went missing, Henry Dinkins' cell phone made brief contact with a cell tower in Comanche, Iowa. That point of contact brought law enforcement to check a Clinton, Iowa Walmart surveillance camera. The footage shows Dinkins step out of the maroon Chevy Impala to purchase 2 bottles of bleach. Now, through witness testimony, we find out it was storming the day Breasia went missing. This is a major factor for where Breasia's remains were recovered, which consists of a pond and a long gravel path. The state uncovering Dinkins' Chevy Impala had mud and dirt stuck under the vehicle.
The FBI even matched the mud to his Impala to the same dirt that is out where Breasia was put. And yes, he was caught on camera at a local Walmart buying bleach. His Impala was seen, but Breasia was never to be seen again until the fishermen that shared their information with the internet before authorities came across her remains.
When the defendant was paying for his items, it was noticeable that he continually looked out at his vehicle while at the register. I don't know how many times, but it was a very frequent turning of the head to look out to the gas pumps. He was frantic and just walked away without collecting his change.
Once the vehicle was raised, stuck in the undercarriage was a few spots of what appeared to be soil and grass stuck in the undercarriage of the vehicle. The vehicle would have needed to be driven off-road to get dirt and grass in those areas.
At the very end of the day 2 of this trial, Henry Dinkins' biological son, which the court refers to as DL, took the stand. He went into detail and described of what he saw that night on July 10th.
Did you notice anything about Henry at that time?
He was upstaring.
He was what?
Upstaring.
He was staring?
Yes.
Staring at what?
It looked like the back room that I was laying in.
At some point then, did you wake up again in the middle of the night?
Yes.
When you woke up the second time, what did you notice?
That she was gone.
When you say she, who are you talking about?
My sister.
Now, due to his age, DL was not able to be videotaped during his time at the stand. And because this was during the last 30 minutes of today, they did not have a chance to cross-examine. So we plan on them being able to cross-examine following on the next day, which is going to be on Monday at 9 a.m.
Okay. I don't want to put D through anymore. He testified on the stand that, yes, he was woke up. Yes, they did leave. He was in the car while Dinkins was buying the bleach. He also testified that he heard gunshots. He also testified that before the gunshots, he heard his sister yell, "Please not again." Please not again. Could you imagine? That was his testimony. And he has to think about this for the rest of his life. And remember, please remember, Aisha, who knows how horrible Dinkins is? Took 2 minor children to Dinkins. And the little brother heard it. He said, Andrea said, "I don't want that mess going on in here." So for Dinkins to do what he wanted to do, they had to leave the apartment. That mess, she should have called the police. She should have reported the crime. All right, well, Dinkins was found guilty.
Well, breaking news this midday, a Scott County judge has found Henry Dinkins guilty of kidnapping and murdering 10-year-old Breasia Terrell in Davenport. Dinkins waived his right to a jury trial, opting for a bench trial. Breasia Terrell disappeared in Davenport in 2020. Fishermen found her body months later in Clinton County. Dinkins faces a mandatory sentence of life in prison without parole. Sentencing is set for October 11th.
Guilty. And yes, he is serving 2 life sentences, one after another. What a sick, sick person. Now, as a community, we did what we could do for Breasia. Mindy Glade, who is not in here right now, and a woman named Tanya organized a fundraiser. And yes, all the money went straight to where it was supposed to go. And near the river in Davenport, there are 2 trees with purple flowers. And people still go out and put things around for Breasia. I love this butterfly they put out. Aggie, I see you backstage. It just keeps saying devices not connected, hun. So you're going to have to get out and try to do it again. I think my husband and I put in $200. I know Aggie put in $100. Many of us just wanted a memorial for her. Because she's just a beautiful, beautiful girl that deserved the world. And she had it. She's smart. She's talented. She's athletic. And I agree 100% with Lisa Durr. This is what happens when you let an RSO out of jail and put him back in the public. They cannot be trusted. They can't. These people do not belong in society. They can't. Look at Grandis's brother, Warren Hare. He gets out, and he's a violent RSO. In Wisconsin, they let him out. It took a hot minute to find him playing with himself at a McDonald's. They can't be around us. They cannot. Well, you guys, I am very, 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 very happy that you were here to go back through the case of Breasia Terrell. I do wish that Aisha would be charged with something. Something. She'll get it someday. Andrea and a few others. So what do you guys think? Put a 1 in the comments if you like the Throwback Thursday. Put a 2 if you're like, nah, I'd rather talk about something else. Because I think there's a lot of cases that we need to go back over. Rapper says 1. Well, way to go, Rapper. Thank you. Thinking Out Loud said 1. Mermaid's loving it. JTB. They should take all RSOs to Snake Island. You mean your living room? Let's take a second to remember Breasia. Absolutely breaks my heart. By the way, one of the women in the picture that was throwing the flowers into the pond is our friend Aggie. Because she was right there and she did all she could do. So, love you so much, Aggie. If it wasn't for Breasia, we wouldn't be friends now. And there does need to be new laws about registered sex offenders. If you are, I don't know how to say it, wired that way. You don't need to be out. You don't need to be out. You can't sit with us. That's all there is to it. Our children deserve more. And Aisha, God's got your number. God's got your number. Andrea, God's got your number. And as far as the little brother, he did the right thing. And he has to live with it for the rest of his life. What he heard, what he saw, how scared he was. Andrea saying, I don't want that mess here. You take her somewhere else. Andrea, God's got your number. All right, you guys. Well, I'm getting another show together for us. It might be later this afternoon, if not tomorrow morning. But you all are the best. And again, you're here for the right reasons. Again, this is a solved case. This is an old case. And we're all here together. So you guys have a great rest of your Thursday. If I don't see you back here in a little bit, you know I've always got my farming to do. And we have storms coming through again today. So, yes, I would love to do a 2-4. I think we probably will get to it. So, just give me some time. You guys are the absolute best. Love you bunches. You are the best.